Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to a bright, sunshiny Winnipeg. +2 Celsius already. Probably going to be a nice day. Okay, enough about the weather. We talked about almost everything else yesterday except the model table. You're going to notice that these look a little bit different from the last time you saw them. Somebody's going to think, hey, he's painted them. I did. I painted them with the 66 this morning. And I videoed it, so you know what's going to happen, right? Anyway, yeah, I think the next thing we're going to want to do maybe is try and get decals down. I don't know if we're going to do that today. Usually what I say when I say we're going to do this, this, and this today, something happens and it doesn't happen. Okay, we'll see what happens though. I guess I can't really put the decals down until these dry. I think there's 3 pieces that require a decal. And this one here, it requires 5 decals. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't have any big news here. I haven't seen the walkers this morning. Didn't see them yesterday either, actually. Doesn't mean they didn't come. They probably did. I just wasn't looking at the right time. And I don't have all day to go looking for them, you know. So we're ready for Missy the dog, who should be by here in about half an hour, I'm guessing. And I'll try and watch for her a little better this morning. Yesterday she was at my door before I knew it. And okay, now, yeah, I think it's probably just a little bit too early to recompose and look at these, because I don't think some of them are completely dry yet. And in order for the shrink wrapping to be at its best, they have to be dry. So, you know what? Let's roll back. Oh, it looks like we got garbage day today. Okay. Normally we have garbage day on Monday, but yesterday being Remembrance Day, it got moved up a day. That's the only day of the year that our garbage is not on Monday. I think even Christmas Day, if we had garbage day, if Christmas fell on a Monday, I think we'd have garbage. Yeah, I might be wrong about that, but I don't think so. Okay, yeah. Let's roll back, and what I'm going to do is in the bottom of the screen, I'm going to say where you have to go to get through the painting, because some people don't want to spend a lot of time watching 17 little pieces being painted. Okay, let's get at it. last one. Okay, we'll let these dry and then we'll have a close look and see how well the paint did its shrink wrapping around the detail. All right. Okay, we are not done. I'll bet you somebody knows what it is that I missed. Now we're going to be using the number 18 here, which is sort of a black. And we are going to try and paint our little wheel here. Now right here, you notice a little shiny thing, that's the top of a sewing needle. I just got it stuck into my model table as a reference here. And I know if I hold this wheel, you know, just above that, I'm going to be in the field of view because I can't watch the monitor and do this at the same time. Now, we're probably going to have to, right now I'm just sampling a little bit of paint. I don't believe I did that. I'll be right back. I think I know where it went. Okay, I got to get it back onto the, oh, how stupid. Okay, we are back. Now let's see if I can brace myself so I'm a little bit more steady. I do believe that the back of the wheel here, we're probably not going to see it. I think that the back of the wheel goes up against the overhead bulkhead. I think I basically got it. At arm's length, it's a little bit heavy right there. Use one of Gabe's thirsty brush techniques to suck that away. Okay. Yeah, let's, I think we're done now. Okay, a slight change in plans here. There probably will not be a Missy the dog segment in today's episode. I had forgotten that Max had an appointment this morning, right about the time he normally comes by. So, yeah, so Missy did not come into the house. Lorraine came by with Missy. And when Lorraine does it, she just comes to the door. She doesn't come in. So, anyway, unless possibly... we'll see what happens. It could be Missy will come over later. We'll see. And then, in which case I'll try to work it in somehow. But it's getting kind of late here. I've been editing everything out that you've seen up until right now, including the early morning painting and everything. But when I was sitting in front of the computer, I think it was my cell phone made a little ting, and I looked to see, okay, I got a mail. So I checked to see what it was, and it was sort of a coincidence. You remember earlier when I was painting there, and during the painting I said something about, I think it's when I was painting this little wheel, and I was talking about Gabe's thirsty brush. Well, it was just a coincidence that Abe sent a you might call it a circular out, and here's what's happening. Here in Winnipeg, man, and in maybe all of Canada for all I know. For all I know, all of North America. It could be a worldwide thing. I don't know. Anyway, there's this thing going on called Movember, not November, Movember. And the idea is guys grow a mustache, and it's to sort of help raise money for prostate cancer, which by the way I have, but I've known that for quite a while. But it's not bad prostate cancer. It's favorable. At least that's what the specialist said. So anyway, we won't talk about that anymore. I'm still breathing, and that's the main thing. Okay, so Gabe sent out this thing, and I was thinking afterwards, and you can make a small donation, and I did. I made a small donation, and I was thinking afterwards that it's possible, not too likely, but it's possible that some of the viewers that remember the 2-3 times that Gabe came here, they might want to kind of get in on this. Every dollar counts. So I was thinking if you are interested in it, and I don't think Gabe would mind. Maybe I should have asked him first. You could send me your email. Send me an email to the model ship at hotmail.com. That's my model ship email address. I don't get very many emails, and I have a bad habit of not checking it every day like I should. So there could be something there now, and I've missed it. I know our friend Jeff here. He's emailed me a couple of times on it, and other people as well. Like the photos that I get sent of the submarine, they come in on that. So you can send me an email to the model ship, all one word, at hotmail.com, and I'll if you're interested, and I'll send you the link to this Movember thing that Gabe's involved in. I better tell him I'm doing that, or he won't know what's going on if he starts all of a sudden getting a dollar or two from people who knows where. Yeah. Anyway, we are sort of avoiding getting going here again, aren't we? I think that these have dried now enough that we can see the detail. I don't know if I'm quite ready to try and drop a decal down on some of these or not. It should be all right. I'm not clear coating them, which I probably should, but I think if I'm careful here, that this XF paint should have dried enough that the decal is not going to make the paint run. But on the other hand, it might. I know there is a difference between dried paint and cured paint. Apparently, there's something to do with curing. It's sort of like concrete. It's water soluble until it cures, and then and then it'll hold water. I remember when I was a kid, we had in an old house that we had. I was about 13 years old or so, and my dad had some guy come around, and they dug a hole under the house and made a basement. There was no basement in the house at the time, so they went in from the side, made this hole, made a basement, and then in the basement they made a concrete cistern. We had no plumbing. We were poor. Now this wasn't in Winnipeg. So they made this concrete cistern. I'm guessing it was about 8 feet by 8 feet, maybe not quite that big, and it was about 6-7 feet high. And then they filled it with water, and we had a pump. Mom had a pump on the sink. Yeah. Boy, were we primitive, I'll tell you. But hey, that's the way it was where we were. It's not like everybody was like that, but that's the way we were. And at the time, I thought, hey, this is normal. Okay. What are we talking about here? How do we get onto cistern pumps? We were going to. We were talking about paint drying and curing and what the difference is. Okay. So I would think it may have cured enough that we can try to put a decal down. We could try put one down, and if it seems to be smearing the paint all over the place, then I'll probably have to repaint. I don't want to lose the decal though. Okay, let's recompose and look at some of these pieces that have detail on them. Like I'm looking at this one in particular. It's you know, if you get close up to it, you can see that there's a little dial in it, and I'm hoping that I get the decal in the right place over that, so that it will be raised appropriately. Because I noticed some of these actually look really good with a decal on them. Unfortunately, from arm's length, you can just barely see it. Oh, this one's big enough that you can see it. Arm's length. Okay, we are rambling here. Something fierce. I was outside. It says 5.9 Celsius. I was outside though to get the garbage cans, or at least one of them, and it's cold out there. You know, I don't know if I want to be going around on my e-bike or motorcycle. I'm still thinking about maybe I'll give the motorcycle one more day, because I don't want to re-injure my leg, if you call it an injury. I'm sure I did not hurt my leg on the motorcycle. I did it some other way, because when I'm balancing the motorcycle, I don't use that muscle. So, but lifting my leg up onto the peg, I use that muscle, and that's when I aggravate it. Okay. Oh, speaking of e-bikes, I was talking yesterday about the fact that I wanted to be able to run my voltmeter off of the battery while I'm driving, my volt ohm meter, and I had been hoping that the charging jack was hot, but it's not. It's probably got some sort of diode type system in it. You can put electricity in, but it won't send the electricity back out. So yeah, it's got some sort of one-way valve in there, which is too bad. So that means I've got to come up with another idea, and that means I might have to drill a hole, and I'd hope to be able to, you know, have a fuse in there, so that if these wires happen to accidentally short out somehow, I'm not going to all of a sudden have a fire on my hands, because there's an awful lot of power in one of those batteries, so you want to have a fuse on it. So I do know how to do that. I just don't have much room to be able to do it. So, and you know what? It's not a big deal. So I only can go out for half an hour at a time on my e-bike. You know, I've been thinking of replacing it anyway, and all being well, next spring I'll be probably 99.9% on my Goldwing. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we got 5 months of winter yet to go, so, well, 4 anyway. Maybe if we have a really nice April, I might be able to get out early in April. I might have been able this past April, but anyway, let's recompose and take a close look. And shut up. When I was taking these off of the various painting sticks, I was noticing I'm going to have to repaint some of these, like this one here, for instance. Yeah, it's leaves a little bit to be desired. Another mistake I made was, remember I put 5 of these on alligator clips, and I numbered the alligator clips. Well, I made the mistake of removing them. I removed the number 6 and the number 9. Now, fortunately, they are noticeably different in length, so I should be able to solve that problem when it comes to mounting them on the overhead bulkhead, because that's where those brackets go. But everything else seems to be, yeah, and this one, and this one are the ones that require decals. I think that's all that requires a decal. So maybe we'll see what time we got here. And it's 11:45 already. Maybe we got time to try and do one decal. See how it goes. Yeah. We'll just do one. Oh, and I was noticing one of these seemed to be needing painting. Was it this one? Or was it this one on the top? Well, yeah, this one on the top. I missed the top there a little bit. You can see that. Okay, this part requires decal number 42. Let's get ourselves a little bit of water there. Doesn't take very much. I used to have a big dish of water at the model table for decals, and I've discovered that for these small decals, like why do that? Okay, we're just gonna moisten the back, sort of. Shake off the excess. Yeah, that I can see the water there is going to soak into the backing about the time we need it here. Okay, now we're going to take some micro set. Let's try and get this right this time. Okay, now here's hoping that it's not going to dissolve the paint. You just want to put it in there so that the decal is going to float around in it. Now this is the way I do it. This is probably not the right way to do it. I think Jason Port did from Model Kit Stuff, he did a tutorial on this. Alright, now we might be able to slide this off now. Yes, it's going. I'm looking straight down on it. You're looking at a very acute angle. Now, we won't be needing the tweezers anymore, but I can try and push this down. Okay, I'm going to put some more micro set on there, and the reason being is I want to sort of refloat this so I can move it. Just get more in there. I'd like to move it down just a little if I could. Okay, it's floating now, but is it going to, when I do the thirsty brush thing, is it going to settle down in the right place? Maybe I need a bigger thirsty brush. Trying to get it straight here, so when it drops down, it's going to be over top of that needle that we were looking at before. Oh, Ron! I'm trying to turn it. Okay, it's actually pretty good right now. Let me get a bigger thirsty brush. Very carefully now, very carefully. Maybe one of Gabe's swabs would do better. Speaking of Gabe, gotta remember to tell him what I'm doing. Yeah, this is going down in quite nicely from my perspective. It seems though that the decal, excuse me, the decal is not. I was going to say melding. It's not dissolving, if you know what I mean. Let me get another a fresh swab here. Maybe it'll absorb just a little better. Hey, look, there's a little tiny hair on that one, or something. Piece of dust. It's amazing what you can see with the macro lens, isn't it? I think my piece of dust got on the dial. Okay, maybe now is the time to use some microsol, because the microsol will actually soften the cellulose of the decal. At least that's been my experience. Okay, let me get the lid on this before I spill it. Okay, I called this Microsol. I should have called it Solvacet. I'll never get it right. Okay, here's the Solvacet. It's a much stronger solution and it will actually dissolve the decal. And hopefully now it's going to settle down on top of the needle. Let's make sure there's enough on there. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. It's gonna take a while because there's a lot of Solvacet there, and then we'll take a look at this tomorrow. So I'm gonna call her quits here. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.